In the previous videos on transportation problem, we discussed the introduction and formulation of the transportation problem, followed by some of the important terms that will be coming across when we discuss the solution of a transportation problem. We also saw what conditions a basic feasible solution must satisfy so that we can find out an optimal solution for the transportation problem from that basic feasible solution. To remind you, the aim of the transportation problem is to minimize the total transportation cost when a certain commodity is to be transported from different supply points to different destinations. In order to do that, we first have to find out an initial basic feasible solution. So now I'll discuss the methods to find the initial basic feasible solution and the optimal solution to a balanced transportation problem. And when the problem is unbalanced, it is first converted to a balanced transportation problem by either adding a dummy source or a dummy destination. The popular methods of finding the initial basic feasible solution are the northwest corner method, least cost method, and Vogel's approximation method. And once we have found out an initial basic feasible solution using one of these methods, we can find the optimal solution using one of these, that is either the stepping stone method or the modified distribution method. Now the best way to understand these methods will be with the help of an example. And this is the example that we are going to be looking at. A product available at 3 supply points is to be transported to 4 destinations. The cost of transporting a unit quantity from the supply points to the destinations is given in the table below. So all these are the cost of transporting a unit quantity from particular source to a particular destination. So this 8 over here is the cost of transporting a unit quantity from supply point B to destination R. Further, the supply points A, B and C have the following quantities available. So these are the different source capacities. The requirements at destinations P, Q, R and S are as follows. So these are the different destination requirements. And we have to find the optimal solution to this transportation problem that minimizes the total transportation cost. So we'll be solving this complete problem right from finding an initial basic feasible solution to finding an optimal solution. So make sure you watch this entirely and do not miss any part of it. We'll be covering all the methods that are listed over here one by one. First, we'll discuss the northwest corner method. Now all the information that is provided in the question has been put down in the form that we have seen in the previous videos. So here we have all the cost of transporting a unit quantity from a particular source to a particular destination. These are the destination requirements and these are the source capacities. If you want, you can also list down the source names, that is A, B and C over here. And these are the destinations P, Q, R and S. But as far as possible, it is best to keep the minimum required information in front of us because it is preferred to have blank space around the table so that the entire problem can be solved at once without the need to make this table again and again. So henceforth, these source names and destination names won't be written. Now if you see, the total of all the source capacities is 60 plus 75 plus 90, that is 225. And the total of all the destination requirements is 45 plus 80 plus 35 plus 65, which also comes to 225. So this problem is a balanced transportation problem. So when you begin solving a transportation problem, I suggest you make a transportation problem in this manner, where all the costs Cij are written in a corner of a cell so that the allocations can be written over here and the table will appear neat and uncluttered. Now in the northwest corner method, we look at the cell which is at the topmost left hand side corner of all the cells that are available for an allocation to be made. So here we'll be looking at this cell first. Now what is the maximum possible allocation that can be made to this cell? The source capacity is 60 and the destination requirement is 45. So the maximum that can be allocated is going to be the minimum of the two, that is 45. So we allocate 45 units to this cell. So from the 60 now, 45 quantities have been allocated. So the remainder is 15. So we write that down. And this destination requirement has been met. So we strike this column off. So now these cells cannot have any allocation. So once again, from the remaining cells that can have an allocation, we look at the cell which is at the topmost left hand side corner. That is this cell. Now what is the maximum that can be allocated to this cell? Here the source capacity is 15 and the destination requirement is 80. So the maximum that can be allocated to this cell is once again the minimum of the two, that is 15. So we allocate 15 units to this cell. So now this source capacity is completely utilized. So we strike this row off. And for this destination, out of 80, 15 have been met. So the remaining is 65. So now these cells cannot have any allocations. So once again, from all the remaining cells, we look at the cell which is at the topmost left hand side corner, which is this cell. And the maximum that can be allocated to this cell will be the minimum of 65 and 75, which is 65. So we allocate 65 units to this cell. So we see the second destination requirement has been completely met. So we strike this column off And from this 75, 65 have been allocated, so the remainder is 10. So now this cell cannot have any allocation. The remaining cells are these. Of this, we once again look at the topmost left hand side corner, which is this cell. The maximum that can be allocated to this cell is 10. So we allocate 10 over here. So this source is now completely exhausted. So we strike this row off. And from this 35, 10 have been allocated. So the remaining is 25. So now we have reached the end of allocations. So we can see now this 25 will get allocated over here. And the remaining quantity of 65 will get allocated over here. So this is how the allocations are made according to the northwest corner method. What we need to do is, from all the cells that are available for allocations, we select the cell which is at the topmost left hand side corner and allocate the maximum quantity to that cell. The maximum quantity that can be allocated to a cell is the minimum of the source capacity and the destination requirement. When a source capacity is completely exhausted or a destination requirement is completely met, we strike off the corresponding row or column because the other cells in that row or column cannot have any allocations. And the steps are repeated until all the source capacities are exhausted and the destination requirements are met. So we have got these allocations according to the northwest corner method. Now let's see if this is a basic feasible solution. So the first requirement is that all the rim conditions should be satisfied. That is, all the supply demand constraints should be met. So if we look at the first source, we have 45 plus 15, that is 60. Second source, we have 65 plus 10, that is 75. Third source, 25 plus 65, that is 90. And for the first destination, we have 45. Second destination, we have 15 plus 65, that is 80. Third destination, 10 plus 25, that is 35. And fourth destination is 65. So all the rim conditions have been met. The second condition is that it should satisfy the non-negativity constraint. So as we can see, that is satisfied. Another condition is that there should be exactly m plus n minus 1 allocations. So if you see over here, the number of supply points is 3 and the number of destinations is 4. So we have m plus n minus 1 will be 3 plus 4 minus 1, which is 6. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 allocations. So we have exactly m plus n minus 1 allocations. And those allocations should be in independent positions. That is, they should not form a loop. So here if we try to start with any cell which has an allocation and move in horizontal and vertical directions alternately, passing through other cells which have allocations, we see that we will not be able to come back to the cell with which we started. So for this solution, we are not able to identify any loop. So all the allocations are in independent positions. So this solution over here satisfies all the conditions that a basic feasible solution should satisfy. So this is a basic feasible solution for the given transportation problem. So let's now find out what is the transportation cost associated with these allocations. So it will be Z equal to, so we have 45 units transported at the rate of 5. So that is 45 into 5 plus 15 units at the rate of 7. 15 into 7 plus 65 units at the rate of 1. 65 into 1. And likewise we'll have, so we get Z equal to 1085. And let's suppose that this is rupees. So the total transportation cost comes to rupees 1085 when the allocations are made according to the northwest corner method. And we can write down the allocations made are, so from source A to destination P, we supply 45 units. From source A to destination Q, we supply 15 units. From source B to destination Q, 65 units. And likewise, we have the other allocations listed over here. So if we observe the way in which the allocations were made over here, we did not look at what is the cost of transporting a unit quantity from any source to any destination. The allocations are just made by selecting the topmost left hand side corner cell and allocating the maximum possible quantity to that cell. So in general, the solution obtained by the northwest corner method is not the best or the most economical solution. However, when we will discuss the other methods further, you will realize that this is one of the simplest methods to find out the initial basic feasible solution to a transportation problem. So if the task is just to find out the initial basic feasible solution, one can go for the northwest corner method. But when we want to find out the optimal solution, which is generally going to be the case, the other methods of finding out the initial basic feasible solution are preferred over the northwest corner method. So we'll look at those methods in the further videos.